We're at Mining Journal Select, and I'm here with Tim Hawk, director at Société Générale. Tim, could you tell me, you've been financing critical mineral projects for a while now. How has the market and your role changed over time?
So there's been a number of cycles through the 15 or 20 years that I've been lucky enough to be involved in this industry. And from my perspective, probably the biggest change that I've seen through those cycles is the narrative. And ultimately, I think investment mandates, lending mandates, credit mandates rely on a strong narrative. And through the early part of my career, we were really telling the narrative of metals being fundamental enablers of society, which is still very true, but ultimately probably not enough to drive interest for wider investment mandates that is now needed to drive the sector forward. And now we have got a much more interesting story to tell, which is both the critical enabler of society story, but also the decarbonisation story. And our mandate at Société Générale has expanded quite dramatically. At our heart, we are mining bankers, but we are also financing downstream as well. So financing the transition through decarbonisation stories such as green steel, through electrification stories such as battery factories in Europe and globally, and the ability to now tell that narrative where we are critical enablers of the energy transition as well as of society as a whole has been a massive change in the last 5 to 10 years, I would say.
Yeah, and could you tell me something about the challenges that come with financing critical mineral projects and that we need for the time to come?
So there are numerous challenges associated with mining projects. And I can't teach anyone anything on sustainability issues or environmental issues. They're obvious. If you are to mine ore out of the ground, you're going to cause some damage to the local environment, and you need to mitigate that damage. So challenges are to ensure that you mine in a sustainable way. So that's a fundamental point that's been in existence for some time. I think we face two new challenges alongside the cyclicality of our industry, which I talked about. We now need to break through a cycle if we're going to have the amount of minerals that we need. You can pick your economic forecaster, whichever one you pick, you're going to end up seeing that a lot more minerals are needed, anything from 2 times to 5 times to meet the carbon abatement challenges and energy transition goals of society. And at the moment, the minerals are not in the money, so mining projects need better incentive prices to get there, and they need better regulatory support to get there. And eventually, when the demand arrives, the prices will clearly rise to incentivize those projects. But before then, regulators and industry participants need to decide whether they're going to support in different ways, have a leap of faith into the future, or have proper incentive mechanisms built in from state actors to ensure that those projects get developed. And so that's one major challenge. And I would say the second major challenge that we face is ensuring that we have the capital available to do it. So we need the assets that make sense, but then we need the investors and the capital available as well. And for that, we keep telling our story, going back to the narrative that I mentioned, but there is more to say, and there are more investors to bring in because there's a big wall of capital investment needed, and there's a lot of capital out there, but a lot of investors are not yet ready to make that leap into mining.
Yeah, and just to expand on that and get the opposite side, could you also maybe tell me something about the opportunities that the critical mineral projects pose?
Well, I think it's an opportunity for everybody. If you have an industry that's been around for a long time and suddenly they're told they need to double production in 5 or 10 years and quadruple it in 20 or 30, then what a great space to be in. And for me, as a banker in the space, it's very exciting. Anywhere that I look, there's opportunities. The issue is, as I say, managing the risk associated with those opportunities and bridging the gap between what is bankable what is economic now and what we need in the future, which isn't quite that bridge is not yet closed.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.